for
Mm.
me, it seems like I don't see this palette as the background of a full color video almost
Mhm.
ever. Like I'm never seeing bright reds and oranges. Like that just feels so atypical to
Yeah.
my at least normal experience on the platform. I'm not seeing giant red moving
Mm. Yeah,
spicy ads.
which is fairly shocking because red is like proven as a color to, to stop people, right? There's a reason why traffic lights are red, like, because it stops people. So that definitely plays into one reason. I think the main reason why it's like this is just because it's a spicy product and they want to bring, that through in the advert in terms of, make your mouth water, all this stuff flying. It feels red hot. It's hot food. That also could be a thing. Whereas again, they haven't necessarily done like hot food before. It's always just been shakes. So I think there's probably a lot of like color psychology going in there in terms of like, or I could just be completely overthinking it and it's literally a peppery product. Peppers are red, let's go with a red and orange background, right?
Yeah.
There's probably a complicated way to think about it with color theory, but then there's probably a much simpler idea, which is this is a peppery product, it's red, let's put that on the background. That's really going to stop people, nice and simple.
Yeah, and also that color theory, like as you're explaining that, something that has also been known forever is, and you see it all the time, is red is one of those colors that you put on a restaurant in a restaurant because it makes people hungry.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
there's a lot of
yeah,
research done on color theory and color psychology and all this different stuff. And if you are well into your performance creative, I would like look into that because it does play quite a large part, especially when it comes to like the color of like CTA buttons and stuff. If you really want to go into CRO, like there is some stuff there, but don't overthink it either. At the same time, don't think, oh man, I'm gonna have to A/B test every single color of my buttons now to see which one.
no,
Like the difference that's going to make is going to be minimal. But like when it comes to like stopping the scroll, big bright primary colors are always going to stop the scroll more than a gray boring UGC video. Always.
love that. Awesome, awesome. And then the second question I had for you, because I think that that's so valuable, because like, man, yeah, the I love that. Oh, we can dive into that another time. Like I totally get it. Like that's 2 hours right there that I'd like to talk about one point in time, but we'll get there someday. The other thing is something that felt subtle, and I don't know if it was on purpose or if it was something intentional. And if it is intentional, maybe you can talk about the why and the strategy behind it. But like the text overlay is in the brand font shape and color, which makes it not pop as much.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have a white background or an outline, right? It's not that like a meme.
Yeah.
Last time
Yeah.
in a couple of weeks ago, you're talking about how your meme pages and all of that stuff, right? Like it doesn't have that little thing that makes it pop, so it's a little bit harder to read.
Yeah, to me,
it plays on the palette.
Yeah, I'm going to be totally honest. I feel like, especially like the 22 grams of protein, 26 minutes, I have a feeling that they are afterthoughts. I feel like what's happened here is the creative have come up with this amazing video, which was probably this without any text.
Okay.
And then they've given it to, whoever, and they've gone, I don't think this tells people enough about the product. And they've gone, oh, great. Like the creative are gritting their teeth going, I'm going to have to ruin this. And they've put on this text. And if they were to put like a white stroke on this, it would cheapen the video to no end.
Oh,
so
that's such a good point. Yeah, it would look like
it would look dreadful. And their whole brand is this like, off black, white, like, that's their brand. And I think, and that's why I think, because to me, that is one busy shot. Like there is a lot going on there. Like,
totally.
when it's moving, it's crazy. And that's what makes me feel like it's an afterthought, because I feel like they made that scroll stopper and they were like, that's great. Another department were like, we need some text on it to match this second part of the advert, which is very text based. And they were like, well, it kind of needs to fit that. Okay, fine, we'll put some text on it. I feel like that's personally what happened. I don't think this was originally meant to have that text on it.
I love that, because like what I'm hearing out of that is, if you make all the text legible, or like one of the things that I know creatives hurt, like, can you make the logo bigger? All you're doing is making the thing look worse.
Normally,
in
like,
in an effort to both provide more information, which maybe is necessary, maybe not. I'm not here to argue on like whether or not that's the right thing. I'm clearly not the guy to be doing that. What we do get out of it is, one, we stay on brand, and two, the text kind of disappears if you're not looking at it. It doesn't call your attention away from the gorgeous work.
Yeah, I mean,
and I think that that's really interesting, in that we're saying, here's a whole bunch of important information. Also, you don't have to see it. It almost feels like that Spriggy ad with all the legal disclaimer stuff at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
Like, it's there. We check the box, but also like the instant pots, like with the pepper behind it. I can't even read it, but I think psychologically I appreciate it, but I'm not sitting there reading it.
Yeah, that's what makes me feel like it was an afterthought, is because you can't even see that text. Like, you just cannot see it, right? And any designer will tell you that trying to put text on a busy background is the worst nightmare, and trying to make it stand out is not fun. But I think, like you said, I think because it's so dynamic and there's so much stuff moving, I think you kind of forget about it. And, I think this is a brilliant ad, and there's a lot to learn here when it comes to, stopping the scroll, color theory, digitally being able to create an entire advert without ever having to shoot anything. I think there's a lot to learn here.